with a micromanager boss is one of the most frustrating things that can happen at work. It makes us feel like we aren't good enough. This week, we asked for solutions to dealing with a micromanager, and many of you shared that you had been in the same situation in the past. We can't always find a perfect solution that works immediately, but we can use these top 10 solutions, hoping that they eventually work for you. Now, our first solution comes from Jessica Jackson from Temple, Georgia. Quite simply, Jessica reminds us to over communicate. Don't assume they don't want to know, or don't assume they already know. Give them a running account of everything that is happening and everything that is going to happen. The more information they have, the more they learn that you are in control of your job and they don't need to check on you. It feels like they are babysitting you, so show them that you've got this eventually, and it will take time. They learn that you do. Josh Dutton-DeBeer from Milwaukee, Wisconsin tells you to also ensure that you are prepared well in advance. Josh keeps a running status list of everything that he's working on so that he knows his work well in advance. This way, if you're asked, you have the information organized and ready to go, which is so much more reassuring than you saying, "I'll get to it soon." There is no such thing as being over-prepared for a micromanager. And yes, this will require you to work well in advance of all your deadlines, which is a lot of work, but it will be worth it. Our third tip comes from Somerset, New Jersey. Elizabeth Blatchford suggests that you get a transparent status board for all of your tasks and projects. Now, that's a great idea, even if you don't work with a micromanager, as it might take away some of those needless interruptions and questions that we all get. It could be physical, if that makes sense in your office, or an online option that everyone can access. Kim Armstrong from Timmins, Ontario gives us our fourth tip, and it is a hard one. Don't take things personally. Now, she is 100% right when she says it is more about them than you. Smile, do what they ask, and move forward. Don't let it eat at your confidence or self-esteem. Removing the emotion from the situation makes it easier to accept that it's not about you. Tammy Johnson from Lake Country, Alberta, jokingly says to start your own company. But the key to her comment is to make sure that you aren't the micromanager, because even if you start your own company, you'll still be working for a micromanager. Seriously, make sure that you aren't the problem. If you struggle to deal with someone who needs control, it may be because you also need control. Have a look in the mirror and make sure that your internal frustration isn't stemming from having micromanaging issues yourself. Yikes. Shauna Proctor from Omaha, Nebraska gave us 2 of our top 10 tips this week. Shauna was on fire and obviously had dealt with a micromanager in her past. Tip number 6, make sure that you ask detailed questions and repeat the answers back to them to ensure that you understand the requirement. It provides the manager with a small measure of comfort to show that she understands what is needed. Number 7 from Shauna, ask yourself why your micromanager is micromanaging you. It could be that they are being micromanaged. Seriously, your manager may be reporting to someone who needs all these details, reassurance, and information from them. The only way they can get it is to ask you about it. So we need to look at the bigger picture to see if the issue is with your manager or if the problem is with their manager. Now, Tina Short from Victoria, BC shares that she has a conversation with her manager to explain that she works better independently. Very few micromanagers know that they are providing an unreasonable amount of oversight. So sometimes we need to have a difficult conversation about how their behavior is impacting you. And Kelly Whiteside from London in the UK says that she asked her manager what she could be doing better so that she could set up some clear expectations. She asked her manager how often they needed information and how they wanted it. Once they established those expectations and Kelly started to deliver to them, the micromanaging slowed down. And the final tip is from me. We know that micromanaging stems from issues with trust. They need to learn to trust you. So we need to anticipate curveballs and over-deliver on everything. Know what they value the most so that you can prioritize to their priorities. It takes time to build trust, but you will eventually gain their trust by understanding what is important to them, being well ahead of it, and over-delivering. Patience is a virtue. Now, not all micromanagers learn to trust. Not all of them can or will change their behavior. So not only do we need to learn what is important to them, we need to learn what is important to us as well. Know when too much is too much and be prepared to move on if needed. If you follow these steps, you'll be in a better position to make this work. And good luck.